What does a data analyst actually do? Let me explain this with a real business problem. Imagine you are a data analyst at Swiggy. It's Monday morning. You open your laptop and see a message from the leadership. Food orders dropped 15% last month. Can you find out why? I mean, that's it. No explanation, no answer, just a pure problem. Marketing thinks it is the campaigns. Operations feel it's the delivery issue. Product thinks it is the app experience. And everybody has a theory around it. Nobody has a proof. And that's where your job begins. Because despite what many people think, data analysts aren't hired to build dashboards. They are not hired to write SQL. They are hired to answer questions business can't answer on their own. And let's solve this problem together. And by the end of this investigation, we will exactly know why Swiggy lost 15% of its orders. At the same time, you'll also understand what a data analyst actually does every single day. Step 1. Let's understand the problem. The first mistake most beginners make is jumping straight into the data. Good analysts don't. They start with questions. Did orders drop everywhere or only in very specific cities? Was it existing customers who haven't ordered or the new customers? Are there specific restaurants or specific categories or everything? Because if you ask the wrong question, you will spend weeks finding the wrong answer. So before touching any data, you narrow the problem. And the first thing you discover is interesting. Orders didn't drop across India. The decline was concentrated in just three cities: Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Pune. So now we know something really important, that this problem isn't nationwide. But we still don't know what's causing it. Step 2, gathering the data. Now it's time to gather evidence. And this is where SQL comes in. At this point, a lot of people ask, why not just use Excel? Because Swiggy isn't dealing with a few thousand of rows of data. It's dealing with millions of orders, customers, restaurants, delivery events, and transactions. Excel simply isn't built for that scale. Most company data lives inside databases, and SQL is the language analysts use to ask questions from that databases. So start digging. Order history, customer activity, delivery matrix, restaurant performance, user behavior, and after pulling the data, another clue appears. The biggest decline isn't happening across all customers. It is mostly happening among the new users. Existing customers are still ordering. New customers aren't. Now, the mystery gets smaller. The problem isn't everyone, it is the new users. But we still don't know why. Step 3, data cleaning and validation. Before going further, there is one another important question. Can we trust the data? Because real world data is messy. Some records are duplicated, some values are missing. Different systems report different numbers. And sometimes the data in itself is simply wrong. Think about it. If one system says orders dropped 15% and another says 12%, which one do you trust? This is why analysts spend time cleaning and validating the information, because bad data leads to bad decisions. So if you remove inconsistencies, check for missing values, validate numbers across systems, and make sure everything lines up. After checking the data, the conclusion is clear. The decline is real, not a reporting issue, not a dashboard error. Something actually changed. Now the investigations get really serious. Step 4, following the customer journey. So far, we know two things. The issue is concentrated in three cities. It is mostly affecting new users. Now we need to understand what's the difference about their experience. You start following the customer journey. App downloads, that looks normal. Account creation, that's normal too. Restaurant selection, normal. Then something interesting appears. A surprisingly large number of new users never complete their first order. Now we are getting closer. People are downloading the app, they are browsing the restaurants, but many are leaving before even becoming customers. The question is why? Step 5, finding patterns. This is where analysis becomes detective work. You compare successful first time orders with the unsuccessful ones. You compare the cities. You compare the time slots, the restaurants, the customer behavior, and eventually a pattern appears. The problem is happening mostly during the peak hours, which is lunch or dinner time or the weekends. These are the busiest periods. Now we have another clue, but here's the problem. We still don't know why peak hours are affecting new users more than the existing customers. We have found a symptom, not the cause. So we keep digging. We go further. Step 6, dashboards and visualization. Now it's time to bring everything together. And this is where dashboards come in. A dashboard is simply a visual summary of business performance. Instead of reading thousands of rows of data, decision makers can see the most important metrics in one place. Tools like Power BI and Tableau help analysts build these dashboards. When you combine customer behavior, order completion rates, and delivery performance, something stands out immediately. The same cities experiencing lower order volume are also showing a sharp increase in delivery times, particularly during the peak hours. And this is for the first time orders. Now we are very, very close, but we have still only found the symptom, not the root cause. The real question is, why are the delivery times increasing? Step 7, finding the root cause. So you go one layer deeper. Now you are looking at delivery operations, the rider availability, the delivery assignment data, the service zones, the traffic conditions, and finally the answer appears. Several high order zones were experiencing rider shortages during the peak hours. In some areas, road construction projects were creating traffic bottlenecks. Orders were taking longer to assign to delivery partners. Some orders were reassigned multiple times before a rider accepted them. And what's the result? The delivery times increased significantly. New customers placing their first order experienced long waits. Many abandoned their carts before ordering. Others completed one order but never returned. And because fewer new customers become repeat customers, the total orders had fallen by 15%. I mean, that's how the mystery is solved. Notice what happened. The business thought marketing was a problem. The real issue was operational. And that's exactly why companies hire data analysts. Not to find data, but to find answers. Now comes a part many beginners overlook. Finding the answer isn't the end of the job. It's only half the job. You still need to explain your findings. You will create summaries, present insights, answer questions, and help stakeholders understand what the data actually means. Because if nobody understands the insight, nothing changes. This is why some of the best analysts aren't necessarily the most technical. They are often the best communicators. Now let's address the question every aspiring analyst is thinking about. AI can already write SQL. It can build charts. It can generate reports. And so does that mean companies stop hiring analysts? Oh, not really. Because businesses don't hire analysts to write SQL. They hire analysts to answer questions. AI can gather information faster. It can automate repetitive work. It can generate summaries. But it still struggles with business context. It struggles with an understanding priorities, and it struggles with deciding what action should be taken next. The role isn't disappearing, it is evolving. Analysts who know how to use AI will simply work faster than analysts who don't. Let's zoom out for a bit. What did we actually do? We started with a business problem, then we understood the problem, we gathered data, we cleaned it, validated the information, and followed the customer journey. We found patterns, built dashboards, identified the root cause, and communicated recommendation. That's the real job of a data analyst. At its core, a data analyst is a professional problem solver. You are not paid for creating dashboards. You are not paid for writing SQL. You are paid for helping businesses make better decisions. The tools will change. AI will evolve. New technologies will emerge. But businesses will always need people who can turn information into action, because great analysts do not stop at symptoms. They keep digging until they find the cause. And that's what a data analyst does every single day.